So Chris, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about who are you, what do you do, where are you from?
Yeah, my name's Chris Frost. I was born and raised right here in Edmonton, and I oversee pastoral care at the Summit Church here in Edmonton.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. And how long have you been doing that for?
About 2.5 years now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what got you into that pastoral role? Is that something you've been doing for a while? Or?
I mean, no, the short story is it's something I felt called to maybe at 19, 20 years old, but I went into business. So I was in the business world for close to 20 years. And most recently had a life coaching business, was just doing that. And there was a transition within the church. We needed a location pastor and wasn't even on my radar. And our senior pastor called me up one day, said, hey, we need a new location pastor. And I felt like you might be the guy. And this thing that God had birthed in me 20 years previous was like, this is it. Okay. And that's how I ended up there.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So with that, my wife and I are also in business as well. So, how did you know like this is a step? Because this is a pretty big transition. I know like on stage, it's like, business ministry. It's like, no, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
How did you make that jump?
I mean, there was a whole series of events. Like I went through a process of having to almost let that dream die. Because, when I was 19, I thought, okay, I'm going to go into ministry, went to Bible school, felt no peace, went through a whole process of looking at going into ministry, trying to get there every way, and just having to let that thing die and feel like God say, okay, I want you in business. I want you to bless that, seeing incredible success and then incredible failure, where God took everything away. Could go into a long story, but basically as a company lost $120 million. So it's a high educational price tag, right? And then stepping into what I ended up doing was going to school for a little bit, went into life coaching and thought, okay, this is how I'm going to do ministry, right? Like I get to meet with people, I get to encourage them, I get to see them build and grow. And so it was just one of these things where it just totally came out of the blue. And there was just this yes in my heart that this thing that God had put there when I was about 19 years old, now at age 40, all of a sudden it's like, now's the time.
Jeez.
It's like, wow, God, I thought you forgot about that.
Totally. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, as a leader, what are some of the challenges you've noticed that you've had to overcome in the last couple of years?
I think there's a number of things. I think coming in, from the business world, but into a church, and it's not a small church. Like as the location pastor, we were seeing 500 people on a Sunday, and so it's like, okay, I haven't been in ministry, and then all of a sudden we have a church of 500 on a Sunday. That means probably 1,000 that call it home. That's a large church. How am I supposed to lead this? How am I supposed to pastor? Because I haven't done this before. To just learning how to navigate the relational dynamic, because it's different in business, right? Where when you're in business and someone's not working out, it's like, okay, you know what? We're gonna let you go. We're gonna go a different way. When it's church, it's like, well, this is your church family. This is your spiritual leaders. There's a whole different dynamic. And so that's been a really good learning process. Like our senior leaders have done a great job of helping me, where I'm like, we need to get rid of this person, or maybe they're not working out. They're like, you know what? Let's just be patient.
A little more grace.
A little more grace, right? And so that's been a big learning curve.
No kidding. Jeez. I'm sure you've been to a lot of networking events and conferences over the last 20 years being in business. Something like this, that's very intentional about gathering pastors and leaders within, sort of the church world, if you will. How important and crucial do you feel like this is for pastors and leaders? Yeah,
I think it's absolutely essential. Like, one, for our own spiritual growth, but two, for the community, because again, that relational aspect is different. Like when I didn't realize it until I got into senior leadership at a church level. It's like, it can be very lonely, because who else can relate to you? I was listening to a message from someone recently, and they're saying he's a senior leader at a church down in the States, and he was just saying how he tries to tell his people in his church, like, it's not different. Leading a church or leading a business isn't different. He's like, it just is. Like, you in your business, you don't have someone come to you and say, hey, we just had a miscarriage and we lost our baby, and then we're going through a divorce, and then you have a board member who's upset, and you're trying to raise finances. He's like, it's just different. It's just a different stress. And so to be able to come to a conference like this and connect with people who do life the same way you do, who know what it's like, is absolutely essential.
No kidding.
I remember this old African proverb, like, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Right.
And it's like having that community of people to connect with is essential.
That's so good. And do you feel like there's, maybe even a gap in community, sort of across the board within the leadership area?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we just get busy, right?
Sure.
And especially as leaders, we're trying to pastor our people, and there's always a pull for time. And so to take time to actually connect with other leaders is vital. Yeah.
That's so good. So I guess sort of wrap it up. Question I ask everybody.
Yeah. What
is the worst piece of advice you received as a leader?
Yeah. The thing that comes to mind is fake it till you make it. And I get what people are saying at that. Like, don't let your insecurities overcome you, right? Like, be confident.
Sure.
But I hate that idea of being fake. Like, be authentic till you make it, right? Don't fake anything. Like, step into your identity, know who God says you are, and be your authentic self.
So good.
Yeah.
I got like 5 more questions, but that's over time. So Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Pastor Gathering 2024. Be great, stay blessed. Adios.